And one of President Trump's special guests at the joint address got more FaceTime with him at the Oval Office yesterday.
What a good-looking family, huh?
There's one more thing I got for you, a big hug.
Okay, good. That's very nice. Look at that family you got, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. That was a big evening last night, right?
Yes, it was.
That was a big evening.
13-year-old superstar cancer patient DJ Daniel was made an honorary member of the U.S. Secret Service Tuesday. Despite that heartwarming tribute and moment, Democrats turned the cold shoulder. The White House says that snub certainly may have backfired.
Democrats didn't stand to keep men out of women's sports. They couldn't even clap for a girl who got her head smashed in by a man on a volleyball court. Democrats didn't stand for an innocent and beautiful child who is surviving brain cancer. Last night was a very clarifying moment for our country. The Democrats exposed themselves as the party of insanity and hate, the party that wants to put America last.
Former West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin and John Fetterman said this, sir. Thanks for being here. He said a sad cavalcade of self-owns and unhinged petulance. It only makes Trump look more presidential and restrained. We're becoming the metaphorical car alarms that nobody pays attention to, and it may not be the winning message. I'm going to take that metaphor a step further. When that car alarm's going off, it's really annoying to everybody else.
Whose is it?
What do you think about it?
No, John's absolutely spot on. It was so sad. I kept thinking, I was watching the delivery. I had sat there before in that same situation when the president first came. President Trump came and he was speaking about energy and things about coal and things I know about the energy security we need for our country. And I was standing up, and I think people were hissing me behind, and I was the only one standing. I kept thinking, that's awful. They shouldn't be that disrespectful to the president. They were hissing me, not him, for standing.
And listen, this is Fetterman. David Axelrod on CNN called Al Green despicable. Michael Steele on MSNBC thought whoever got the bingo sign should be fired. We never learn is one quote. He owned us. It's almost like whatever Trump does or say, just make sure you do the opposite over and over again. Here's a quote. We can't just be the party that barks at Trump. Until we learn that lesson, we're going to lose. He made us look like what we are, blanking buffoons.
The biggest thing
now,
is...
you're on the outside now.
I am.
You have a chance to advise in a more neutral way.
Well,
who is the leader of this party? Who's giving them direction? Why would they make such a spectacle of something that was not necessary?
As far as within the House and the Senate, the leadership is basically Hakeem Jeffries and his team, as far as in the House, and Chuck Schumer and his team, and far in the Senate. As far as a national leader who people are rallying around as former Democrats or Democrats now or independents trying to get their vote, they have to understand the people have spoken. They elect Donald Trump as president. Every red-blooded American should want your president to succeed. If you're in a position of being a House member or a Senate member and you can do something positive, do it. Don't worry about the politics. It'll take care of itself. Make sure our country succeeds, and your leader has to succeed. And when you're going to be against something, do it respectfully. Do it with decorum. Not able to stand up and be able to clap on something with a human touch that had, that young man, the young boy, what he wants to do. That's just unconscionable.
I think the point is, Senator, you can disagree on policy.
Yeah.
And you can express
But not
that.
on human experience.
But not on the personal.
No.
Go ahead, Dana.
On Gutfeld last night, I suggested that the Democrats should just declare bankruptcy, because that way you can move forward and start anew.
Well, here,
do you think that they're at a point now where they realize, like, for example, I'm going to read this other one about, this is from Trump. He said the Democrats should lose the midterms based on their behavior. Republicans can take what happened last night and win any race in the country. And you add that to the trans athlete issue, where you had 45 Democratic senators all vote against protecting women's sports.
Well, first of all, let's look at the country right now. You only have 7 battleground states, and all the money and time and efforts being spent in 7 states going for that independent, undecided voter. Okay, other than that, out of 435 congressional districts, about 400 are already predetermined. So there's not a whole lot of wiggle room here. With that, I just told everyone, look at this. What do you need? Can you say, I'm sorry, we made a mistake? I didn't intend to. Maybe you made the wrong calculation. And they can't say that. Nobody in Washington.
But what about the liberal media that pushes it even further than the Democrats and gets them into this position?
You cannot defend bad behavior. And you can't make wrong right. You can try all you want to. Just say you made a mistake on the border. I was preaching from day one. Are you all crazy? Have you opened up basically with asylum at the border? What's your reasoning for doing this? So we made a mistake. I don't know why they made their determination to do that, the previous administration. And they should be able to live up to that. And so we made it, we'll fix it. President Trump is who he is. He came in and told you what he was going to do. And he's only been in it less than, what, 50 days, 45 days, you said?
Yeah,
45 days. Give him a chance to see what happens. He'll make adjustments. He was not elected as comforter-in-chief. He was elected as commander-in-chief. You might not like the way he commands, okay? But let's give him a chance to see if it's successful. Try to make it successful. And when you disagree, do it respectfully and say, Mr. President, I think I know where you're coming for. Could I give you some input?
So on that point, give us one policy, one prescription, one law that they could agree on.
Debt reduction in this country. We're in a situation now at 36.
Are Democrats prepared to go along with
They better speak up. They better speak up, because that's where they could find it. The president keeps saying, we're making these cuts. It's painful right now. We know that. There's another way to do that if you can, but if you're making cuts and they're just going at it.
Would you vote to abolish the Department of Education?
I don't know about abolishing it, but I would revamp it. I mean, can anyone say education's attaining what it should be in America? Are we number one or in the top 10 in any category?
More than
We're
anyone
not.
else.
So all this needs to be. He's shaking it up. It needs to be shook up. But let's do it in a practical way that we get good results. Someone better take the debt of this nation, $36.2 trillion. Mike Mullen told me my first meeting at Armed Services, the greatest threat the United States faces is the debt of our nation will take us down before any other foreign power.
He's been saying that for a while, too.
He has, and he's been right on. And what happens, every individual owes $104,000. So if you have children, just think, every child you have, $104,000 of debt. If you want to pay all that off, and all of us chipped in $104,000, it's impossible. So it's unattainable, but it's unsustainable.
Senator, thank you for your time. We're out of time.
Great to see
Whatever
you.
we can do to help, let's
by.
pull
You should
together.
pop by more often.
We need
okay?
Democrats and Republicans working as Americans. This American party, we're all in it
People
together.
in Washington are watching this program, and they're listening to people like you.
Well, they're all my friends on both sides of the aisle. They're all good people there. Come together for the purpose of making this country what it should
we'll
be.
see
Get
what
our
happens.
finances in order. Take care of our families.
Thank you,
Thank
Senator.
you so much.
Thank you all.